Hello, I'm Maurice Dimba. Welcome to this presentation. Today I'm going to take you through a staircase modeling, but on this staircase we are going to use gratings for our treads and landings. Welcome once again to this presentation. We'll go straight to rotate with mouse. We've made 4 columns here. The profile and the type of the column, just double click and check. These column properties will come up. You'll be able to see all this. You can go further and check varieties of such kind of a column. Now, these are varieties you can change if you want, but I'm okay with the 356. I'll close that and close that. I'll come back to gratings. I'll come back to grid. I'll come back to grid. I'll double click on that and you'll be able to see the measurements on XY axis. I'll close that. I'll go straight to staircase creation. I'll turn that like that. But prior to that, I need some guidance. Down here, I'll come to line. I'll come to edit. I'll come to construction object. I'll pick line. I'll place my line here and the other end. I'll right click and interrupt. I'll zoom out and in. I'll come to navigate under view and rotate with mouse like that. Now I'll go straight to applications and component button there. I want to use polybeam. I'll just type polybeam. I'll pick that. I'll snap at that spot and run all the way to a midpoint here. But this midpoint and this midpoint must be on a same line. I'll interrupt that and transfer this point. I'll transfer this point from there or copy it from that spot. Right click, I'll interrupt that copy command and go back and pick on it. I'll go back and pick on it. Just zoom out. Right click and click copy. I'll pick on it and transfer it down here. That's my point. Here it is. If you zoom closer, you'll see that point. Now I'll come back to polybeam and applications and component. I'll pick that. Then I'll pick it from this spot up here. Then run all the way to the bottom end of these 4 columns and click it there. Then press my middle button on the mouse. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Pick that. I'll select that. Right click and click move. I'll pick it from this corner and move it all the way to this end. These points are very easy to place. You come to edit, you come to points, pick any position, snap at that spot, just place your cursor along this beam and type either 100 or 80. Then from here and here 1 meter. Then between this point and this point you get a midpoint here. Then transfer this midpoint to this line we placed down here. That will guide you properly to on your way to creating a staircase. Now I've made this. I'll close this because now it has no use. I'll come to view, I'll come to navigate there and turn this around like this to see whether I'm on the right position or on the right track Now I'll come here, pick that, right click and click special copy, and I'll pick mirror. I'll come down here. I want to mirror this. Use this as my mirror line. I'll snap there and click OK or copy. Perfect. But not exactly what we intend to do. It has mirrored on the same spot. I'll redo that. Right click, special copy, mirror. I'll come back here. Same spot. I want to use this as my mirror line. Come down there and change this angle to 180. Just type 180 on that and click copy. Click OK. Right click and interrupt to disable that mirror command. I'll click on this. I'll right click and click move. I'll zoom closer to pick a point here. I'll pick that spot and zoom in and out and snap it right here. Right here. But prior to that, I've seen a problem somewhere here and we need to rectify that prior to going further. This point is touching and it's touching that end, and this one is not touching this end. That means there's a problem. I'll undo that. I'll undo that. Undo, undo. Undo again. Problem is we didn't realign or made this point straight with the top one. I'll pick that spot, right click, click copy, copy it from that spot, run all the way to the bottom end here. Don't pick on the midpoint, pick where it snaps at 90 degrees. Right there. Here is our point. Now we'll come back to polybeam and pick that. Then snap right here. Run all the way to the bottom end here. Right there. Press the middle button on the mouse. Perfect. Now we'll go back. I'll turn this round like this. I'll pick this, right click and click move from this end to this end to that spot. Now if you take a look, we'll see it's touching exactly at the edge of that beam. Now from here, I want to mirror this and use it on another flight, as another flight. Now I'll right click and come to special copy and mirror. From here, I'll just snap here, run all the way to the bottom end here, and click copy. Perfect. OK, and interrupt. Now I'll come and select that first flight and move it up. I'll snap on that corner and run all the way to this first landing. I'll place it here. Perfect. Now from there, I'll right click again and give it an offset of 100 millimeter. I'll snap there and just direct my cursor and place it there. Don't click, then type 100 millimeter on your keyboard. Then come to navigate, rotate with the mouse and turn this round like this. We've made our staircase, but this is just a first step. Second step, it is very simple, is placing our beams across, but we want to use these landings to guide us on where and how to place our beams across the 4 columns to reinforce the 4 columns. Now I'll come to edit, I'll come to points, not really, I'll come to measure. I want to take measurements down from this end, from that spot, from that spot to that spot. Not accurate. Come to navigate, turn this round, navigate, turn this round like this. I want to take a look. Perfect. Now we'll take a line, we'll come to edit, we'll come to line there, and just pick a line here, give it a direction on this end, just place your cursor there and type 1 meter or 500, just to give you a line, 900, that we'll use as a guidance when making or checking the measurements. I'll come to measure. I want to measure this right from the bottom end here, right from the bottom end there, and run all the way upward and snap right there. That is 3726. 3726, remember that. Please, we have to note this because we want an offset of 3726.69. That's perfect. Now we'll move on. Now this is now useless to us. We were just using it as a guidance to check our measurements. Now from here, we'll come here and copy this, come to view, come to navigate, click there and turn this round. Now copy this and place it here exactly. Place it there exactly. Then from here, right click and come to copy. Pick it from the same spot. Direct your cursor up, upward. It's quite simple. Just right click and click copy, snap right down here and place your cursor up there. And type 3726 and enter on your keyboard. Right click and interrupt. Perfect. That's it. Do the same thing here. Click that, come to that spot and pick it from that corner, from this corner to this corner. That's it. Then come to navigate and rotate this. We are moving that slow. Come to that spot. Come to that spot and turn that round. And turn that round like that. Right click and close this. Rotate with mouse. Perfect. Perfect. Now from there I'll come to edit, come to measure, and take a measurement from this spot to this spot. Measure this, is not accurate. Measure that. Is not accurate. Come back to view, navigate, rotate with mouse. Click on that and turn this. Double click on this, come to position and give it below. Apply and accept. Now if I come to edit, I come to measure, take measure distance from this spot. From that spot to that spot, that's 1877. Perfect. Now it's simple. I'll come to navigate, turn this round. I'll delete this. I'll click that, right click and come to explode. I'll explode that. Now we'll go on and delete all this and delete all that. Click that, press Ctrl and click that and delete. Now come to navigate, rotate with mouse, rotate about that spot. We'll delete this first thread, right click and delete. Now I'll come to applications and component here and just type Stair. I'll scroll down. I'll click on this and scroll down. I'll pick Stair's detail 1038. I'll pick that. Then come right at the bottom here and click on that stringer and snap down there. I'll click on this stringer and snap right at the bottom there. Right click and interrupt to end that command. Perfect. Now we want to pick this and this. Press Ctrl and select that, right click and click copy. I'll copy it from this spot. From that spot. And snap it on top here. Come to navigate and check whether you've done the right thing. Rotate about that spot. Perfect. Exactly what we intended to do. Now, next thing is to create another flight. To create another flight, we'll just select on this. We'll select on that, but we'll delete this member first. We'll delete that member and delete that. We'll select on that, right click and click special copy mirror. Then use this as our mirror line, run to the bottom end here and click copy. Accept that and go ahead and interrupt that. Now again from here, I'll pick this, I'll pick that and give it a move command. Pick it from that spot, zoom out and in, and come up here and join it up with this top end. Right click again and give it a move command from that spot. Give a directional on that side and type 100 mm and enter on your keyboard. Right click and interrupt. Perfect. Now we can bring this member back. Click on that, right click and click copy. We'll snap right here, right at the top of that beam, then direct it up here, right there. Right click and interrupt. Perfect. Now I'll go to navigate, rotate with mouse and try to rotate this. Interrupt that. Now we'll close that. Come to navigate, turn this round. Now we'll start placing our gratings. But prior to placing our gratings, we need to copy these beams up. We need to copy this beams up. Now we'll pick this, select all this, select that, select that, select that, right click and come to copy. Escape from your keyboard, right click and interrupt. Press Ctrl, select that, and select that. We've selected wrong member. Press Ctrl, pick that, and pick that. And come here and pick this. Right click and come to copy. We want to copy it down from this spot, from that spot. To that spot. It's not right. And do that. And do that. And do that again. We'll pick this. Right click, pick that. Press Ctrl and pick that and that. Zoom out and pick that. Right click and pick copy. Copy it from this top and and run all the way to the other end. Right click and click copy, and snap right here. Run all the way to the top end here, right there. Right click and interrupt. Perfect. Now we are done with that. We'll come to navigate. Today my comp is a bit slow. Click on navigate, rotate with mouse, snap right there, and turn this like that. Now we've made that step. And check something here. Let's check for something here. It seems not to be right. It seems not right. Now I'll come here, right click and click move. Snap right there and snap right here, and type 50 or 30 enter on your keyboard. Right click, click move. Click move from that spot and place your cursor there and click 30 and type 30 and enter, or just click on OK. Then zoom out, come to that spot and turn this round. Perfect. Perfect. Now we'll start off by placing our gratings. It's very simple thing to do. Come down here, and the very first thing we are going to do is to create our cleats. Creating our cleats. To create cleats, simple as this. We'll turn this upside down like that. Then come to edit. Come to edit, any position, and come to that spot. Just direct your cursor to any midpoint here and type 75. We want to use an angle, an RSA angle profile, angled profile of 75. Now I'll pick that, press Ctrl and pick that, right click and click copy. I'll use this corner, I'll use this midpoint, and this midpoint to copy those points. Now I'll come back again and pick these 2 points. Pick those 2 points. These 4 points, pick that and that. I'll right click and click copy. I'll turn this round, come to navigate and rotate with mouse. Rotate about that spot. Now we can just do the same thing here manually. Come to points, any position, snap right there and direct your cursor in any midpoint there and type 75. Do the same thing, pick that, press Ctrl and pick that, right click, select that, press Ctrl and select this, right click and click copy. Copy it from this midpoint and run all the way to this end and place it there. Right click. Now we'll come to edit, come to polygon and pick that. We'll just go ahead and snap this out and cut and trim off this out. Pick that and join this end. Come to view, navigate, click on this and turn this round like this. Turn that round like that. And please, we have to note these measurements. Come to edit, distance, from there to that spot. That's 357, 357, 89. Perfect. Right click and delete all this. And delete all this. Right click and delete. My comp today is quite slow. I am very sorry for that. And click that. Right click and delete. Click that, press Ctrl and pick this. Right click and delete. Now I'll come here, I'll come on the thread and turn this round. I'll come to applications and component and type grid. I'll pick on that grid. Try to turn this round like this. Turn this round. Perfect. Now I'll come back to grid. I'll zoom to that spot. I'll run all the way to this spot, right at the corner here, right there, with our grating. Now, if you come to navigate, click on that and turn this round like this. Right click, double click on that. Double click on that. I had previously customized this. Now I'll just come to grating that and click modify. Click modify, grating, load, and I'll click modify, apply and accept. Interrupt that. Double click on that, then come to grating 1, and load that. I'll click modify that. Then after that I'll give it apply application and accept it. Now I'll come to navigate, turn this round, turn that round. Perfect. Having done that, I'll come back, I'll select it, right click and click move. Snap right there and give it an orientation or a direction upward by 50. Right click, move it up by 50. By 50 and enter that. I'll close this. I'll come to navigate and turn this round. I want to locate a midpoint here. I'll come to point, edit, point, online point. I'll snap at that corner and snap right there to get that spot. It's very important. Now I'll come to this clit also and turn it down like this. I'll come to that clit, come to that clit, though it won't be very accurate to locate the spot. I'll click on this, right click and click move from that spot to that spot. Now I'll navigate this and turn it round. This is our grating resting right on top of our thread. Grating resting on top of our clits. Now we want to populate this. But prior to doing that, we want to change our work plane tool. We'll come to work plane tool, click work plane tool and place the work plane tool right there. Right click and interrupt. Then having selected that, come to navigate and turn this round and pick the clits again. Right click, press Ctrl and pick that, turn it again, press Ctrl and pick that, and pick that. Don't forget also to select the bolts in case they are left out. Then turn this round, right click, interrupt, right click, special copy, linear. We want to use an x-axis. We want how many of these? We didn't note, but a distance of 357.89. We can give it 9, then click OK, copy. Delete duplicates. Okay. Now if we come here, we'll see we've placed our staircases here, or our threads here. Click there and turn this round. Perfect. Now on the first one, the first or the thread on the landing position will be deleted, and do the same thing here. Delete this. Now on the landing, we'll click that, we'll click that and turn it round like that. Then come back to Gratings, pick that, zoom in and out. We'll snap right at that spot and run all the way to this spot, to that spot, and place it there. Just zoom out, double click on that, come here and change this to Grating 2, click load, modify, apply and accept. Interrupt that, double click again, we'll pick our customized grating and load that. We'll modify that and click apply, apply and accept. Double click on that, come to position, 0, the reason why it's behaving like this is because of our work plane tool. Work plane tool is taking that profile or an orientation which our landing is also following up. Now to correct this, we'll go back to view, then we come to work plane tool and take it back to the normal world position, XY axis. Now we'll delete this, right click, we'll select that and right click and then delete, then come back to grid or safe grid, then snap right at the middle of that, then zoom out, then run all the way to this midpoint here, that midpoint, then wait for the response. Now we are on landing. There we are. Now from this spot, I'll just select on that, then right click and interrupt again. Right click and click move. We want to move this up slightly. One snap right there and place our cursor there and type 50. Right click, click move. We'll snap there. Come and snap right at the middle point there. Then navigate, turn this round like this. We've placed our grating right on the top. Now come here and turn this round. Today will take a little bit of time because I'm a bit slow because of the system. Now from here, having exploded this, or we didn't explode this, we want to create other threads on top here. And the threads on top here. Now I'll come here, click on that, right click and explode that. Now I'll be able to delete individually all those members. Come to navigate, click on this and turn it round. Right click, pick that, right click and delete that. We'll delete all those, also this, and come to navigate and rotate this like that. Now we'll select all this, or prior to, just select all this, press Ctrl, pick that, pick that, pick that, pick also that one. Just zoom out. Want to count all these staircases. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Pick that. Just pick it. Pick it, then leave the last one. The last one we'll use as a guidance in creating our threads. Pick that, right click and click delete. We'll delete this one, right click and delete that. Now I'll come to rotate, click there and turn this round. Now instead of doing that again, I'll just come here, right click and select this, right click and pick copy. I'll copy it from that midpoint, then run all the way to this midpoint. Perfect. Right click. Now I'll close that. I'll come to navigate, click that and turn this round. Now from here, I'll pick that, come here and turn this round. Turn that round. But due to time, I will not trim all those clips. I've showed you how to trim them off. Now it's you now to take it to practice. Now I'll click on that, right click, come to special copy, linear. But prior to doing that, I have to give my work plane tool an orientation of that slope. Right click and interrupt. I'll pick that, right click and come to special copy and come to linear. Then I'll just go ahead and click copy. Click copy. I'll give it an OK. Perfect. Now the top one will delete. We'll delete that. Perfect. I'll come to navigate, turn that round. Now the last landing just moved by copying. We'll select on that, right click and click copy from that spot. Not accurate, copying command. We'll pick it from that spot. That's accurate spot. Then run all the way to the top end here and place it here. Perfect. We'll come to navigate and turn this round like that. Perfect. We're moving perfectly. From there, I want to perform another copy command. I'll pick this, right click and interrupt, I'll pick that, right click and click copy. Copy it from down from that spot and run all the way to this end. Place it here. Perfect. Now I'll come to navigate, click here and turn this round. Since our work plane tool still in the wrong position or orientation, we'll change that to take this orientation. We'll come to work plane tool, and place it on the staircase here. Right click and interrupt. Pick on that. Prior to doing that, we have to delete all these threads because we don't need any discrepancies. Or it's quite simple, we'll just click on that, right click, click copy, snap on that spot, snap on this spot, snap on that spot, snap on that spot. Snap on that spot, snap on that spot. Do the same thing there, do the same thing here. Then come to navigate, turn that round, right click, we'll snap on that spot. Come to navigate, rotate with mouse, and turn that round. Turn that round. Now from here, it's another thing altogether. We'll interrupt that, right click and redraw. Right click and draw. Again, come there and rotate this. Rotate this. Now we need a staircase, a stair tower, a bit taller. We'll zoom down to the bottom end here. The bottom end here, and join it up by weld and splices. Place it there. Perfect. Then do the same thing here. The splices will be placed later on. Expand, right click and interrupt. Click on an empty screen. Just zoom closer. Then come to navigate, rotate this with mouse. Explode this. We don't want to see this. We'll delete that. We'll come to navigate and turn that round and check if there's any part that need to be deleted. We delete that. We'll delete this. Then switch back to our previous view. Turn this round like that. Now we want an accurate measurement from here to here. An accurate measurement. Now we'll take that accurately using measure command. Now we'll snap right there and run all the way to the bottom end here, on top end here. That is 37. That is 37 and 53. That's 7 and 53. Please note that. Now if we come back